Hey guys, we are at the beach this week. We wanted to take a little video just to show you guys what we're doing. It is so hot here. I know that's kind of a stupid thing to say, but I always forget how humid it is. We think it's humid at home. Like, you can step out in the air here and I feel like there's just water on my hands. Having a really good time. We are at Garden City Beach in South Carolina. Took us about 6 or 7 hours to get here, but really this is one of the closest beaches for us, because if you were to go to the coast of North Carolina, that's all the way out there because we live in the westernmost part of the state. So stay tuned and we'll show you what we're doing. So these are our eggs that we brought from home. You can see how orange the yolks are. We're just so used to eating fresh eggs that I can't eat store-bought eggs anymore, so we brought them with us. So, also for breakfast, I'm going to have some yogurt. I really like this yogurt. I think it's fairly low in sugar. It's just plain vanilla. It tastes good. It'd be good to add other stuff to it too, if you wanted to add like fruit, raisins, honey, just whatever, but I don't mind to just eat some of it plain too. Like, that's probably plenty. Some Parmesan cheese. This is the end part of the cheese, the end of the block, and honestly, I like that the best, so I'm gonna eat that. Also, I like a lot of cheese, so believe it or not, I'm going to eat some more. I'm using my more knife, but again, I let it sit wet, and it's a carbon blade, so I'm gonna have to work on that. I can get my dad to fix that for me, maybe. Okay, now I got my eggs. I don't know if I'll be able to eat all of these. What you got?
This is a GoPro, well, something like a GoPro underwater camera.
We got this underwater camera off of Amazon. I don't know if it'll be any good, but keep watching the video. You may see some underwater footage. We are going to the beach. We are really close to the beach here. We really could walk. We have walked before. Here's the inlet, Merle's Inlet. Kingfisher Inn. Lots of golf carts. Lots of pedestrians. And then just out there is the ocean. It's so interesting. There's palm trees down here everywhere, and that's just so different than... I'm like, where are all the oak trees? They're here. They're just not down on the water. We are at the beach, and we are going to unload all our stuff and carry it onto the beach and set up. We've did the sunscreen. We are ready to go. I hate wearing sunscreen, but the thing about it is it's a lot different down here at the beach. There's something about obviously being closer to the equator, and then there's something about the sand. It's not like being at home and not wearing sunscreen. You can get away with that, but you're not going to get away with it down here. And you don't want to be burned for your trip and be miserable, so... So one of our favorite things to do, I know my favorite, Corie likes it too, is to look for shells while we're at the beach. That's an interesting little shell there. We love to look for seashells, I do, while we're here. And the tide was pretty high yesterday, and it was pretty rough. So there's been a lot of seashells deposited because of that. And you never know what you're gonna get. You kind of just have to look around a little bit and just see what's in there. But yeah, I do have a favorite shell. I'm not sure what it's called. I'll just probably put it in the video right here. But they're hard to find. I don't seem to find many of them, and I've tried all week, and yesterday I finally found one, and I put it in my net. I was actually in the ocean using my net panning for seashells, and I finally found some. And I found my favorite little shell. It was awesome, and it just takes so long to find it. Now I gotta get some water when the tide comes back up, and it'll rinse some of this. Okay guys, I got my devotionals and my little Bible with me. I like to take these when I travel with me so that I can read them wherever I'm at. They're really helpful, and especially being away from home, that's part of what gives me anxiety, you know, because I'm a homebody. I feel most comfortable when I'm at home and doing the things that I normally do. So I find that this is really helpful for me when I travel. You're making hamburgers, babe.
Well.
So we are making hamburgers to take down to the beach for lunch today.
Correct.
I'm actually using my Mora knife to cut open the packages, but I kind of forgot that it was a carbon blade, and I let it sit wet for a little while, so I'm gonna have to use some still wool and get that out.
Shame on you.
I know. So something kind of odd is this house behind me, which I'll show you guys in a second. Actually looks like it's abandoned because that door up there is open. So I'm not really sure why. It's kind of odd, but it makes me think of all the channels on YouTube that explore abandoned places. We actually watch those videos a lot, but I'll turn it around so you guys can get a better view. I don't know if you'll be able to tell from here, but that side door, that left door right there, is just completely open. Not gonna go all the way up to it because it's not mine, but and then you can see right there, I'll just zoom in a little, you can see caution tape on the railing. I mean, maybe it's just in bad disrepair and it needs to be fixed. I mean, it kind of looks like some of the wood is rotten, but that seems odd to me with that door open. I mean, that's just gonna get moldy in there and get ruined, so not really sure. The rest of the houses down through here are really nice, so maybe they have plans to do something with that one. What are you reading? The Valley of Vanishing Men. Say that again. The Valley of Vanishing Men. Cool. So far, they're all vanishing. Surprise. I would like some lettuce. Now I would like some, like an onion, and I'll put a piece of cheese. We got the chocolates.
That's right.
It all looks pretty good. Of course, Cocos are my favorite. I think I'm gonna go with these though. There's a jellyfish. You see those?
Yeah, I do. You see?
So their menu is really cool. They talk about the goats. You can pause your screen and read this if you want. And then on the back, they talk about the legend of Drunken Jack, and you can pause and read this too if you want. But this is a really nice restaurant. It's one of our favorites to go to while we're down here. The view is just super pretty. The story of Drunken Jack. So, hanging out in the 1600s was the famous Blackbeard pirate ship, and on Blackbeard's pirate ship was a man named Jack, and they circled by this island, and they were getting ready to leave the island, and they thought they had everybody aboard, but they didn't. They were missing Jack. And so it took them 2 years to come back around the island. And so what happened is when they went out to sea, they got engaged in these fights with all these other pirates, and all this stuff was going on, and they were too busy to come back and get him. And they left him with their precious plunder of rum, all these barrels of rum that they were going to come back and get and sell them or probably drink them. And when they come back 2 years later to this island here on the coast of South Carolina, they found 32 empty rum canisters, barrels, and old Jack's bones bleaching in the sun. So I guess that's the story of Drunken Jack. And so from here on out, since this was a restaurant, it says for almost 40 years, Drunken Jack's has become a legend in its own right. You can eat, check out the island, and think about poor old Jack about 400 years ago.
Tell us about the goats.
There's also goats on the island. They keep goats out here to eat the vegetation down off this part of the island and like the marsh walk, so you can see out there. And they have the goats from summer to late fall, and they winter them somewhere else on a farm. And then if there's bad weather, they'll go ahead and move them too. But it's fun to see the goats sometimes. One time I was here and I saw a peacock, but other times you'll just see other random wildlife show up. But the goats actually are owned, fed, watered, and managed by the restaurant. So if you like pirates and goats, this is the place for you. So we got ice cream. I got vanilla. What did you get?
Chocolate shake.
What did you get?
Vanilla with Snickers on it.
What did you get, Kevin?
Vanilla with Oreo.
And what did you get?
Reese cup and vanilla.
Yummy. right as the bottom comes out and up from the horizon, it looks like it's melting out of the ocean. You can see the reflection of the bottom of the sun on the ocean. You see that? Beautiful. What you think of the inlet?
I think it's awesome. I stop every now and then and look to see if I see anything out there. Sometimes you see crabs. We saw a duck. I almost thought that was a duck out there, but I think it's sitting too still. I think that's like a takeout cup or something. But yeah, I like to stop and look. Sometimes you see big birds. Oh, I see lots of crabs running around out there. Sometimes you see fish. Just different things. What you see, buddy?
Austin found the tiniest little crab. How'd you catch him?
He wasn't really running too fast.
He's itty bitty.
I caught one too. He's just in some sludge.
Uh-oh. He jumped away.
He's running. He ran up in this shell here.
There he is. Goodbye.
Bye.
Uh-oh, is he stuck or something?
Probably. He's trying to get back down there.
Can you just, will it be okay to toss him over?
Mm-hmm. See?
He swims.
He made it.
Why'd they get rid of the slip track for? Do you remember when it was here, Corie?
Alright guys, I just had to tell you about the snow globe really quick. So when we first come to Garden City Beach, it was 2018 and I got a snow globe just like this one. Took it home, dropped it eventually, maybe a couple months later, and I broke it. We come back in 2019, I got one just like this, and it broke. I think my little cousin was actually there and she didn't mean to, but she dropped it and broke it, and I just laughed. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So then of course 2020 and the pandemic, and we couldn't come back. So now 2021, I have got the same snow globe, and we will see how long I can keep it without breaking it. So we cannot end this video without telling you guys what happened in the beginning before we even got to the beach. So we stopped at a Cracker Barrel to eat. It was around lunchtime. Food was good as always. Loved the Cracker Barrels. I wish we had one here. So we were leaving. Katie was using the bathroom when we were standing outside. I was actually on the phone talking to Austin, and then all of a sudden Mom says, it's Pastor Lon, and I'm like, where? So we turn around, and there is Pastor Lon and Robbie Lynn and their son Bradley. I think there was more of the family. It was kind of like a whole trail of people going in, and Mom just seen them and kind of caught them, and they come back out. So to tell you guys who that is he has a YouTube channel they do called Homesteading Pastor. I'm going to put their channel in the description. You guys should go and subscribe to them. They're great. So we met them on YouTube and have known them now for several months and have corresponded a lot, and we just feel like we know them. And they live in South Carolina, close to there, I think in Darlington, and that was just where we happened to stop to eat. And all the way down there we debated on, should we tell them we're coming? It's last minute, that might be rude, and we kind of decided, well, that would be an imposition, maybe we'll try to do something next time. And so it was the craziest thing when we run into them, of all places, at the Cracker Barrel, way down in South Carolina. I didn't even really know where we were at. And we were shocked to run into them. And when Mom said it's Pastor Lon, you know, I was on the phone with Austin. I was like, oh, I gotta go. And I turned around and I'm like, what? These are my YouTube friends that we just randomly run into. And it was pretty crazy too, because they told us that like they usually never eat out on Sundays. They go to her mom's house, but her mom had been on vacation, so they didn't. So that was kind of an odd thing for them to do anyway. So it was the strangest, most coolest, awesome thing to get to meet them. And it was so funny because we hugged them and talked to them, but I felt like I was just talking to someone that I already knew, but, you know, we had never met them. So that was really awesome. I'm going to put the picture in here. We got to take a picture with them so you guys can see that. And that was just such a blessing before the trip had even started.
He's bothering you.
Out of my way, mister. Trying to get over here? I think not. Are you showing them the butter? Back off!
Oh my goodness.
You got trying to get in my way?
Oh man.
No! We're gonna cook frosted flakes.
They're more than good, they're great.
So these are our eggs that we brought from home. You can see how orange the oaks are. Yeah. If you try to say something bad one more time, I don't know what I'll do, but when I do know what I'm gonna do, I'll tell you just what I am gonna do. And it probably involves throwing somebody into the ocean against their will. Is that what you want to happen? Because I will wear you out. I will wear all y'all out, put you all in timeout, and come back down here and enjoy the beach by myself. I will. Sea monsters. Sea monsters, yeah. There's lots of cigarette butts. I wish people wouldn't do that, but... And sea peanuts. Lots of peanut shells. Sea peanuts. We kind of got this room a wreck. Me and Katie are staying in here, and there's just stuff everywhere.
Well, that's par for the course for y'all.
I know. I got the nut mix. This is pre-breakfast. I'm a monkey. I got a knot on my head. I talk out of my own foot. Look at me. I just say whatever I want to say whenever I want to say. Look, I found an instrument from the beach. Clam shell? Yeah. Somebody was home, but nobody's home now. That's so funny. So tired. Beaching life is hard. Actually, I'm just tired because I've laid out in the sun too much and I ate ice cream for breakfast. What's wrong with me? What kind of ice cream did you eat for breakfast? I ate vanilla ice cream with cookie dough in it. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm just toiling away. That's it.
Just making you uncomfortable.
A little bit. That's fine though.